Hey everybody, welcome to the Power Hour of Love. I'm Charboil and this is...
El Bandito.
Hey El Bandito, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great, senor. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. How's everybody doing out there?
Oh, yeah. Make sure to leave a like down there. Give us a good comment. We saw Party Man Will was first in the chat today, so we're very proud of him. Thank you for joining us, Party Man.
Oh, yeah.
Also, make sure to take a moment, share the video on your timeline and, on your wall, whatever, Facebook stuff is, so that everybody can jump on and join us tonight because we have a really cool and interesting segment that we're rocking. And what we're doing is we're doing some Viewers' Choice Gaming.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We're definitely going to talk about some of the hottest games that we've been playing all year long. Senor Bull's compiled a whole list of every game that has dominated each month of his year so far. But we're going to dedicate our whole second segment to hearing all about and talking about all the games that you guys love, want us to try, want to see us do playthrough and reviews, and games that we think aren't getting enough
love.
Yeah, they're not getting enough love. Exactly.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, like El Bandito was saying, you guys can go ahead and post some stuff in the comments, man. We'll start rocking out some video game talk going on here.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Well, definitely, one game that I know we could definitely talk about that, our buddy, the Amazing Brando, he did our awesome theme that you guys just heard. So you definitely, go out and check him out. But, he's actually working on a video game.
Absolutely. He's doing a whole 8-bit adventure all himself, and it looks pretty wild and pretty amazing. What can you tell us about it, Senor Bull?
Oh, man. It's called Animus Before and Beyond. Brando's completely creating this game himself, so he's in the development cycle right now, and yeah, it looks like it's going to be kind of like a mix between like a Metroid and like a Mega Man game where like you run around and you go through these different time periods and you collect these like different costumes that have different different abilities and such. But man, it's even better, man. We actually, he's doing it through Patreon, so like people can go and like,
support him.
Absolutely.
Donate some bucks and help him reach the goal of making this totally awesome, like Army of One style game.
You know it, man. But we got something even better for all you folks out there, and we got a video to show you to support our buddy, the Amazing Brando, with Animus Before and Beyond.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at Animus.
Oh man, I don't know about you, El Bandito, but I know that gets me pumped.
That
man.
was rocking, dude. I mean, for 8-bit graphics, I mean that can't be 8-bit. That's gonna be like 16 or
I would say
something,
like,
man.
Yeah, something like in the Super Nintendo kind of wave of games. But man, yeah, it just looks so hot, man.
Yeah.
And it totally made me think of like Castlevania and Metroid and stuff like that. So that's right up my alley, man. So I can't wait to play Animus. But here's what's even cooler is, like as we saw, it's on Patreon, so you guys can go on there and, throw out some love to Brando, and then also like as he creates the game, like he does streaming shows where you can go and watch him like making graphics and, different animations and stuff. So you might even learn a little bit too as you're, as you're supporting him.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I'm very interested. I go to school for how to build and design games and everything like that, and that kind of information, especially told through someone who is a good orator, someone who's entertaining to watch. I mean, he obviously makes all sorts of cool music videos and stuff like that are top notch. So the guy really knows his stuff, and he's good at keeping your attention and being fun. And I imagine it's a great video series. So get out there and check it out.
Heck yeah, and definitely you can look him up right here on Facebook, The Amazing Brando, and definitely on Patreon. So definitely give him some love.
But while you guys are out there just giving some love, I mean, don't forget to like and subscribe to Facebook, like our page and stuff like that. We're also over on YouTube where we do post these videos again on YouTube. But we've also got some extra special stuff for any subscribers of our YouTube channel where we do what we call our playthrough and review.
Oh, yeah, man. This is our series where we get in there and we get to try some of the latest and also some classic games, too.
Yeah, what we call the vault games, where you reach back in the deck and, pull out some old games there and check them out. I know I'm rocking my old Battlefield 3 right here. But yeah, we've got a series over there where we already have a handful of videos out. I threw some graphics up here so we could see what was what. Let's see if we can get to some of them and see what we've got over on the playthrough and review.
All right. Oh, yeah. That was an awesome one.
Yeah, that was the original one that we did. It kind of prompted us to do the whole series in general. This game from Bethesda that was the kind of future game that we've all been like looking for.
Yes. They've done medieval, they've done post-apocalypse. Now it's time to get into the future.
Yeah, where's all the Star Trek-y stuff, So we got into Prey and got into checking this out, not even realizing that it's more like Bethesda's turn at doing like a horror genre game. So there's definitely some fun antics watching this video as I play through and realize that the game is about a series of mimics that are a sort of alien race that can mimic different objects, which means they're hiding in plain sight. I mean, you could walk up to a chair or a coffee mug, and it turns into this monster and attacks you. And I will admit, there's probably a few jump scares you got from me in this video.
Oh, yeah.
But we've also, played through a lot of this, and without spoiling too much, you also get to use and utilize some of the mimic abilities yourself as a player. We won't tell you how or why, but it's a really exciting concept to be able to locate and turn into something in the environment that may be useful for completing a puzzle or a task or something like that. So it's just a totally awesome game.
It was pretty awesome. And like El Bandito said, he got to rock this one out while I got to commentate. So you get to hear me talk about it. And well, we both talk about it, but we run our mouths and like run through the game and stuff. But it's a really good time. You guys should definitely go check it out on YouTube.
It's Bethesda, man. Come on. They made no bad games ever. I was going to say probably one, but I can't think of it.
I was going to say, we got a message here from Party Man Will. It says, yo, Bethesda, less other things and more Elder Scrolls and Fallout. I'm sure they're out there listening to you, Party Man Will. I know they're working on something right now from what I've read, but we're going to get some more of that a little later on.
Absolutely. But let's see. Then we went back in the vault and we did the Watch Dogs, man. We had heard so much bad stuff about this game. People talking about like it was like the hacking was kind of crazy and silly. And, it had this real like wannabe Grand Theft Auto, but like hipster style. So what'd you end up thinking of that game?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I really don't remember us playing this game. You tell me that I played it, but you guys are going to have to go watch it and see what that's all about.
Absolutely, man. I forgot we were hacked during our our playthrough of this. So that's definitely worth checking out because Senor Bull wasn't able to play the game as he should have. But it's definitely a fun review, and if you've never checked out Watch Dogs, which you've always been kind of curious, because you do hear a lot of talk about it. There's a lot of buzz about it. I mean, they made a whole sequel, so it was obviously did a few things right, and we do explore that. But our playthrough and reviews are mostly us just sitting down, and we're going to play through right at the beginning of the game. So that's what we're doing.
Not to go back to our Prey video, but I see here Justin K. he said he threw in Doom. He man, Doom. You want to talk about Doom? I mean, last summer, if we were doing playthrough and reviews,
we would have done it every day on Doom.
I love that game. That after a hard day's work and you're like, oh man, you just have to get out some, release some tension, man. You play some Doom and crush some demon skulls, man. Yeah,
get some glory kills out there and just rip some demons apart, man. No, that's a freaking amazing, amazing game. But as far as the playthrough and review goes, we've got Doom on the list.
Yes.
Now it's gonna have to be like a vault game. We're gonna do in a little bit, but it'll fall in line with the Watch Dogs. And I mean, the Watch Dogs, once we actually got into it, like, I could see the redeeming qualities of it.
Sure.
But it was evident, I mean, right from the beginning of the game where the flaws were. So get over there to our YouTube channel and check that one out.
Ryan R. here is saying that Watch Dogs 2 is amazing.
Oh, is it?
So, we might have to put that on as an upcoming playthrough and review so that we can kind of see where the sequel builds up from the original game.
Yeah, because I'm sure they had plenty of opportunity and feedback to be able to kind of dress it up a bit. But let's see. We went on from that with Party Man Will and DC Eric coming into the studio to rock Injustice 2, Gods Among Us. Now, I have to say, like, I've played a lot of the first Injustice, and played through the story of it and everything like that, but I hadn't when we did this review. So I was out there like, man, why are they messing up all these storylines or going way off? But I had no idea it was like on a different multiverse thing. So I was a total bozo about it. But that game on that new Mortal Kombat 10 engine is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like.
And there's a new thing too. If you guys want to jump into it right now, they just added Hellboy, Raiden, and there's another character that escapes me, but I think the Ninja Turtles are coming in too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you won't play as the individual Ninja Turtles. Like, different moves that you do will like bring in. So they're like a combo character.
Nice.
So that's kind of cool. It's almost like the Capcom,
Now that's an Injustice?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it should be pretty killer.
Yeah,
man.
That's pretty wild, man. That sounds pretty wicked. But yeah, we had a battle royale between DC Eric and Party Man Will. They're both kind of resident DC experts. They have just infinite scopes of knowledge on the series. And
man, I think we have some mind readers in the comments.
Oh, yeah?
These guys are in here talking about DuckTales and some of the Disney afternoon stuff. Well, we got let's get through this quick thing with our next game that we did, and then we'll talk a little bit about the future.
Absolutely, man. All right, so we're getting off Justice League already. Party Man Will didn't want no love.
Oh man, I'm sure. Let's see. He's over here. He's talking about Ghost Recon. We're gonna get into that in just a second. Party Man.
He says his character selection was its own victory. Being Dr. Fate was winning enough for Will. And Blue Beetle,
some
Blue
alien
Beetle
Blue
awesome.
Beetle, right? It wasn't Ted Cord.
It wasn't Ted Cord, but it was a human guy. It just he looked more alien, I think.
Well, I just recently grabbed this game as part of like the Black Friday sale. It was only like $20.
I know
that
you didn't include me on any of this stuff, man.
You can borrow it after I'm done.
Yeah, after you're done. You're never done with a game like this. They go on forever. So let's see. What did we do after Injustice 2? Friday the 13th.
Oh man, I'd have to say, out of like games this year that like we've spent the most time on, I mean, I really think we should get like a promo credit on this one.
Yeah,
too.
Seriously, some advertising, because man, we have shown so much love. I'm gonna give it some love right now. Let's give it some love, dude.
Give it to it.
So good. But yeah, man, this game freaking absolutely rocks. We both got it on PC. I'm D3 Chavez. He's Charboil. He's lucky. He gets Charboil on everything, man.
Exactly. It's nice and unique.
Yeah, I can't get El Bandito. It's freaking everybody. There's like 30 Mexicans with the El Bandito name, so I can never get it. But yeah, dude, look us up on there. Friend us on Steam, man, because we will absolutely be playing this game for years and years to come. It is super awesome. Jeeves, my best bud out there. I haven't seen her now in like a month, man. I haven't played. But This game is so good for an indie game. You know, not to knock indie games, but this is above and beyond exceptional for an indie game.
Oh yeah,
and
they're always making updates. Like they're always coming out with new stuff. I know, like for like the winter time, I think they're gonna come out with a new Jason, a new map. They just put one out like a few weeks ago, so it's like they're really kicking it. It looks like here Justin K saying that he just got it and he played his first match as Jason recently, and he got 2 kills, which is pretty good, man, for your first time. I mean, Jason's kind of hard to play. Like, I mean, everyone thinks I want to be the killer, I want to be the guy. I mean, these counselors be kind of tricky, you know.
Oh, absolutely, they'll shoot you in the face with a flare. Justin K's talking about it right there. And yeah, absolutely, man. But that immersion, that realism of the game, it really makes you feel like you're in a horror game, and it is wicked awesome. And yeah, you know, as the once in a while kind of thing that you get to play as Jason and run around and kill other players is like incredible. It's so good. And they have so many unique kills, whether you're just hacking and slashing at people or doing very like elaborate kills where you stab someone through like a broken tree trunk or stick their face in a fireplace. I mean, they're adding new kills.
Yeah, exactly. And now we know, I mean, for some people, we sure it sounds really grotesque and stuff, but from the point of view, if you're looking at the movies to a video game, like, it's just fantastic. This independent studio has gone above and beyond, and man, they're still killing it. Like we said, new stuff coming. But yeah, you guys got, not right now, you know, stick with us right here. You know, be sure to share and like and do all that fun stuff. Show us some love. You know, we show those little hearts as they go float by. You can hit those like multiple times. You know, this isn't like a regular comment, you know. You guys can just keep, you know, showering us with likes and loves and all that good stuff. But yes, like after we're done, you guys should head on over to YouTube and check out our playthrough and reviews.
Absolutely, man. And if these couple of games weren't enough incentive, we're going to give you guys a sneak peek right here on the Power Hour of our latest playthrough and review coming out later this week. We're diving into, let me see, Wolfenstein, The New Order. This is another Vault game because when we saw what was going down up at E3 this year and that the new Colossus was coming out, we realized we had never played The New Order and didn't know that Bethesda had went out and made a Wolfenstein game.
Oh, yeah.
And after we had both played Doom, it was like, yeah, we need to super get this like immediately.
Absolutely, man. And this is, like you said, we dove into this one. Like we're pretty experienced now.
Yeah.
But when we played this one for the playthrough and review, we were very novice. So, yeah, you get to see some fun as we...
you want to talk about novice? I got to say my favorite thing was when you were telling me, you're like, dude, they have this mechanic in the game where you hold 2 guns at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you pull each trigger. He's like, dude, I'm sucking at this. Yeah. And, like, you know, you play Akimbo so much in Call of Duty, you know, or Battlefield if you're a fan of those games. Senior Bull's not much of a FPS player, man. But I'm like, oh, really? This Akimbo thing is tricky, huh? Let me try it out, Bull. Just wreck shop, dude. And he was like... All right, you've obviously got some experience with that.
But what's nice about the game is you can play it, and you know you don't need the dual wield. You know, same thing. There's a lot of stealth built into the game. You can come up behind someone, stab them, do. It's just a very innovative game. A lot of fun, great story. Yeah. It's like watching a movie.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best story games like I've ever seen, especially for a first-person shooter. Hands down, best first-person shooter story I've ever seen. And to take a moment to say that Friday the 13th game is probably the best adaptation of like a movie to game or a game to movie. Like any way you slice it, that thing is so much like watching a film or being immersed in a film that I wanted to give it that credit.
Sure.
But this Wolfenstein, yeah, like you said, it moves right into these cutscenes so beautifully. You know, we put some instances of it in this playthrough and review. Like we said, it's going to come out in just a few days, and you guys can run over there and check it out. But they have these stealth modes with throwing knives and, you know, silenced weapons. I mean, if you haven't checked this out yet and you saw some commercials for the new Colossus and you're like, oh, it looks pretty good, dude, go and get The New Order. It's like $15 or something at Walmart. It is awesome. Super worth it.
Oh, man, it looks like we have some viewers' choices coming in here, man. Can we jump into that real quick?
Sure, real quick. We can talk about a couple little things.
All right, man. It looks like here for, you know, like we said tonight, we're going to mix things up a little bit, you know, get it so that you guys can have a little interactivity here. And the first game we're talking about tonight that people want to hear about is Five Nights at Freddy's series, man. This one has like, for the last few years has like dominated like the PC world, but now you can play it on like your tablet and your iPhone and stuff. And man, the first one, while, it's still pretty creepy, like the later games, they get so intense and technical. They're pretty darn scary.
Yeah, man, I've seen you play this game a whole bunch, even the role-playing adventure one. I know you let me play it on the iPad over at your house the one day. And
yeah.
I think for a concept as simple as it is just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, just being like, oh, I'm a security guard guy, and I'm going to sit in here and watch cameras and stuff. But it's got this suspense and this creepy factor as you're trying to look around at these animatronics. I mean, everyone's been to Chuck E. Cheese, and this is totally like someone was at Chuck E. Cheese like, man, this would be creepy as hell. And that series is just great. I have to throw it out there. I hope you don't mind, man. But when you had your Halloween bash this year, you decorated your house like the Five Nights at Freddy's restaurant thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you and your boy and stuff dressed up like,
Yes, he's a huge Five Nights at Freddy's fan. I know he's probably watching tonight, even though he should be in bed right now. But that's okay, because I know he wanted us to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. But yes, he loves the game. They're really creepy, but at the same time, I kind of like equate it to like Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
Like when we were younger. It was stuff that when your parents saw it, they were like, you should not have that.
Yeah, but it's not really gory or anything like that.
You don't see no blood or anything.
Yeah, I mean, the Friday the 13th game, wicked gory, wicked bloody. I mean, I would not have a kid play that game. But this Five Nights at Freddy thing is kind of fun for all ages if your kid can handle kind of the scarier element to it, if they're not so shy away from horror stuff, because I know a lot of kids that love horror movies, man. But this is right up the alley where you can get them something fun that they can play that doesn't have any gratuitous sex stuff, So to me, you can tell why I didn't want to play it too much. Didn't have enough gratuitous sex.
Merchandising, oh man, they are totally capitalizing on the merchandise. You get Five Nights at Freddy's lunchboxes, backpacks. I mean, merchandising everywhere, So yeah, it's all over. So definitely, just search on YouTube and you'll find tons of people playing it if you want to kind of check out Five Nights at Freddy's. But yeah, it's fun. It's a jumpy. It's a fun game to play like around Halloween.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, definitely. So my buddy Max, if you're out there, man, there you go. Some Five Nights at Freddy. We're gonna show it some love.
Well, real quick, we're going to jump in. We got to tell them a little bit more about some of the other playthrough and reviews we got going, man. We'll run through those real quick, and then we'll get back to some more Viewer's Choice. So what's next,
let's
Bandito?
Check it out. All right, this is our upcoming playthrough and review where we got to give a shout out to Gamer AF over there on YouTube, man. He came in the studio and joined us. Now, he's a youngin', right? And he plays a lot of these awesome newer games and stuff like that. And we told him, we said, hey, man, what's the hardest game that you have ever played? And he was like, Dark Souls. Hands down, Dark Souls, super hard. And it's a bit of an older game. We weren't familiar with it. So we said, all right, man, bring it over. And we're going to have a contest. And we're going to see who's better. Are the older guys better at playing your fancy new game? Or are the young kids better at playing some 8-bit classics? So we went head-to-head with Senor Bull playing Dark Souls and Gamer AF rocking out the Disney Afternoon Collection. And I think you guys are going to be excited when you see how it all shakes out in the end, because it, as a bystander, to me, I'm just watching. It was hilarious to watch these two struggle through these like simple, fun games that are just built to kick your ass. I mean, those old 8-bit games were just, they were made for you to pump quarters into them.
And just so you guys know, with the 8-bit or with the Afternoon Collection, like it's DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Tailspin. I mean, if you've never played DuckTales on the original Nintendo,
yeah, you're missing a huge part of life.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best platformers ever.
Yeah,
I definitely give that some love.
Oh yeah, we're totally gonna give it some love.
Absolutely.
That Darkwing Duck game on there was pretty badass too. I have to say, like. All right, I won't spoil it. I was going to spoil some stuff, but no, that playthrough and review should be coming out probably towards the end of the year. I don't know if it'll be just after the new year, just before, but we're going to try to get that one out pretty soon. So Gamer AF, thank you. Keep an eye out for this, man. Head over to our YouTube page, like we said. Like and subscribe over there. Like and subscribe our page here so you can get the latest updates about stuff, man. But we wanted to spread some love for our actual YouTube page, too, because we love Facebook Live. We love being able to talk to you guys and interact with you guys.
Absolutely.
But we do got some other exciting little tidbits out there on YouTube for you as well. So Just giving you the heads up.
Oh man, Disney's getting a lot of love in the comments tonight, man. People are just shouting out, different cartoons. I remember there was Bonkers and all other kinds of stuff. Unfortunately, I don't even know if there was a Bonkers game or something like that.
I'm pretty sure there was a Bonkers game, but I think Bonkers was far enough along that it was off 8-bit.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably more like a 16-bit, but deeper in, not so much Disney, more dark. We've got Dead Space people out there. Oh. We got Party Man Will out there talking about this one. We got Justin K out there talking about this one. Man, Deep Space. Talk about taking like Resident Evil type horror and like putting it in like an alien movie type thing. Like those games are just horrifying. I played the first two. I didn't play the third one, but yeah, they were pretty terrifying. So.
Yeah, man, they definitely got some pretty wicked stuff out there. And I see Justin K's asking about Grim Dawn. Now, I got to say, I'm not familiar with that at all, man. Throw us a comment a little bit about it, and we'll tell the rest of all these beautiful people out there, or they can probably read it too, but we want to know. So throw a comment in there about what that's about, man, because that might be totally worth checking out.
Hey, can we show them the viewer's choice button?
You're asking a lot, man. No, man. That's for the next segment exclusively.
Oh, it is. Sorry, guys. Sorry. We're jumping a little ahead there. I know. Everyone's got me so excited. Everyone's digging
I know, man.
You're
you're all about the viewer's choice thing. And I was like, we're going to do that in segment 2, right? And you're like, nah, I'm going to do it right now when I feel like it. But real quick, before we jump to the news and jump into segment 2, because if everybody wants to talk viewer's choice, man, let's freaking do it. No sense in waiting. But real quick before we do, I think we're going to take a moment here and closing windows out here. I shouldn't be closing.
We're getting there, guys. Oh man! Oh man! That's right. I almost forgot about this.
I know we got some birthday wishes to shout out over there, and I'm just watching the stream for a minute because I just hit the back button on my browser, and I don't know if I killed the stream. So
I think we're good.
You think we're good? I want to see the happy birthday thing pop up there because I'm nervous. There it is. Okay, cool. So we got some birthday wishes we wanted to shout out for this week. We don't normally do this on the Power Hour, but we figured we would take a special moment for one of our Power Hour alum here who helps us out. You hear his voice every week on the Power Hour, whether you join us on PoDunk or not, because he does most of our sound clips for us.
Oh, yeah, man.
Bishop out there, we know it's your birthday this week, man. Hopefully I'm going to get a chance to see you. A lot of folks out there, especially my Facebook friends and stuff. Evan, he's like my best bud in the universe. We've been friends since high school forever, man. So I know he's out there. I just wanted to show him some birthday love, and thanks for all the help and support over the years. So there you go.
Oh, there you go. God, give him some balloons. One balloon not enough? How about a bunch? Give him one more. Give him some more balloons.
There you go. There's a couple more. There's some from Senior Bull too, man. for all your help over the years at the different events and stuff we've gone to, and again for doing this cool audio stuff for us here at the Power Hour, man. It's been pretty wicked. So
absolutely, man.
We super appreciate it. And also, real quick, I know I got another friend out there, Bridget, over there at A Rock and a Hard Place. Her birthday's also this week. So, she's over on Patreon. She does a lot of motivational speaker stuff and things like that. She's nutritionist, life coach, all sorts of stuff. She'll help you get your life together and be a better person, and she's an awesome chick. So go over, check out her page, throw her some love and stuff like that, and we're going to throw her some birthday balloons too.
There you go. More balloons. I love it. I love the balloons, man. Oh, man, it's so good. So good. So, hey, is it about that time for us to dive into some PoDunk news, man?
Yeah, I think we could do that. I think we could do some news. Is everybody out there ready to check out some news?
I think they're ready.
Let's see what we can do.
PoDunk News.
Oh, man, we got some crazy stuff. I know a lot of people last week, we were getting a lot of hearts and likes in the PoDunk news. This is our segment where we go through and we just tell you guys the craziest news stories that we were able to find that's going on in the real world. These are all actual stories, I know I got a couple comments last week, people saying that definitely couldn't have happened. No, these are legit. These are from reliable sources.
Yeah, man, we couldn't make this crazy stuff up. That's why it is a PoDunk world out there. And
this one right here, I know a lot of people deal with stuff like this all the time, man. You come out of the supermarket and, man, somebody's hit your car or bumped your car or done some sort of damage. And you're like, what? How could this person just leave? Well, man, there's a 30-year-old case. Man, there's a lot of things with these 30-year-old things coming to pass. Last week there was a killer clown. But with this, yeah, a hit and run on a parked car. Didn't hit anybody, but someone ran into a parked car and did a bunch of damage 30 years ago. They sped off. But just recently, an anonymous, amount has been delivered. When an anonymous person last week there was a killer.
Oh, what happened here? Sorry, man.
There was the amount that was delivered was $1,000 to the police department, and that they were they said they didn't want to be known, but they said that it's to pay for the damages that was caused so many years ago. So the one bad thing is that they don't really have like records that go back that far.
Oh, man.
So it kind of just went into the police's account, like the actual department's general account.
Okay.
So but it's going to go towards like new computers and different things, and maybe some video cameras so that people can't just run into.
Yeah, just go bashing into cars and be like, all right, well, they'll never know what hit them.
You know it, man. You know it. Well, that one's kind of like a story of someone, obviously feeling bad. It's Christmas time and stuff like that. People are trying to make up for their past. They're trying to get on that good list, get off the naughty list, right? So, man, this next one, this person's definitely on the naughty list. They Boston. Fallout 4, Boston.
There weren't enough Boston accents in Fallout 4. That was the one thing I wanted to hear. Was someone be like, holy shit, that pack of Raiders is not that bad.
Oh, dude, you know it, man. You know it. And, like, the thing is check this out. These guys probably could be in Fallout 4. Man, this Boston bank robber, well, he's a suspect. I guess they don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. He was arrested after attempting to escape and hide, but he was hiding in a porta potty.
A porta potty.
So I think he probably went to like a construction site or something like that, and saw a porta potty, thought he could hide in there. So I'm sure he had a few stinky minutes, because I'm sure those construction porta potties are pretty.
I'm gonna take a wager that if you're reading the story, the dude got caught.
Yes.
I mean, I've heard of people getting caught with their pants down, so I guess
absolutely, but definitely a stinky situation, for that guy. But yeah, so he's definitely on the naughty list, because he probably did that bank robbery. Now the next story is a little sad, but it just kind of goes to show that when you're doing live stuff and streaming, sometimes you got to be careful. It's not all about the likes. You got to take safety into account. But here, check this story out. A young couple on YouTube were known for doing like these various pranks. We've seen these. They're not. It's definitely not an original thing. There's tons and tons of people who go on and they'll prank. They'll put something in their hair or do some craziness.
Yeah, people do retarded ass pranks on YouTube though, man.
Oh, Well, this one went too far. All right, the wife. It's a pregnant wife and her husband. Okay. I guess he was holding a thick book, and she took a gun and shot at the book.
Oh, nice. Classic.
It didn't stop the bullet.
Yeah, of course not. That is a complete fabrication. I mean, in the Old West, maybe that could happen because they didn't use the sort of high-velocity bullets that we have nowadays, and they used very big slugs, so they were kind of slow, and you'd see those old Western movies where guys like, oh, the bat will save me, but it's usually like leather-bound and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not like a garbage paper book we have today, and bullets that like are twice the speed of sound.
Oh, you know it, man. Yeah, so this guy's definitely no longer with us. Like the bullet pierced the book and went through him, and it killed him. So now here you have this pregnant mother, and she's being charged with manslaughter.
Yep.
And get this, the reason they were pulling the stunt is they were just trying to get to 300,000 subscribers. Man. I mean, is it really I mean, don't get me wrong, I know YouTube pays and does all this stuff, but I mean,
yeah, that's dangerous, man. I mean, I don't think I'd put my life on the line for YouTube sensational. I'm fine with our 30 subscribers that we have on YouTube. We don't need 300,000. 30 would keep me from dying.
I was going to suggest this on our next playthrough and review. No,
yeah, we take shots at each other. There you go. How about we just fight with medieval battle weapons? Considering we were doing Dark Souls.
Well, right here, Party Man Will says natural selection, and then Frederico here says if they had the Necronomicon, that would have stopped the bullet. I agree. I think that's definitely would have. But you know, one of the things me and El Bandito really love that we don't get to talk about that much on here, and I know, you know, a lot of our fans are a little mixed on. We're both huge wrestling fans.
Absolutely, man. Yep, totally. Pro wrestling all the way. I did collegiate wrestling in high school, and after high school, I actually joined a pro wrestling team because I was like, you know what, I want to go do some pro wrestling. And it turns out that is hard as hell, and I'm very small. I like to think of myself as a big, beefy dude, and nowhere close.
I keep telling them we need to start a new tag team now. Go join one of the local guys or something. But what we wanted to say was that one of our favorite wrestlers from like the 90s, and, you know, he's part of a big team that everybody liked, Matt Hardy of the Hardy Boys. Last year, he got to reinvent himself with his character in a different promotion. And then it got so popular. He was probably like one of the most popular independent wrestlers at the time.
Yeah.
They got brought back to the WWE, which is the big time, you know, but because of the whole legal standings, he wasn't able to use his broken gimmick. But as of right now, it looks like that's been completely cleared, and they're starting to introduce that broken gimmick into his character. So
nice.
It might be a thing to watch. Now, just so you guys know, wrestling's going on right at the same time as the Power Hour of Love. So watch it, you know, put it on DVR or something. Go watch it later.
Or catch our show on YouTube later.
That's true. You could
because yeah, one thing we really wanted to be able to do with this show was not only make it easy for people to listen to our content, but like I know a lot of times when I'm working, you know, I'm working on projects or doing graphics or whatever, man, I love to put on a radio show or a podcast and just listen to it. Some people like doing this when they work out or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we have the Podbean available for you guys at McPatches Podbean over there, where you can download just the audio if you want to do something like that. The YouTube video is very easily available. I mean, everyone gets YouTube on everything. And then here on Facebook, it also saves this video for you guys to watch later. So we're doing everything we can to get in touch with you guys and put our voices in your little head there. So feel free to bug the hell out of us. Leave us some comments and some likes and stuff like that. I killed my comment feed, and I apparently can't go back to it. But Senor Bull will hear it, and he will respond to you.
We are here, you know, definitely. If you see me looking down, it's not that I'm not paying attention. I'm checking what you guys are writing. And definitely shout out to Bobby C, man, one of my favorite bartenders of all time. You know, definitely. I hope you're doing good, buddy, out there. Thanks for tuning in.
Heck yeah, Big Steve showing us some love too, man. I love that, man. And when I look away and stuff, I just stopped caring about you people. And I just looking at nudie pictures over here on my other screens.
But oh man, Justin K over here, man, he's giving some love for the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh man, when the moon and the fuel hits the rocket ship. Man, that guy did the best promos. Just total nonsense.
Man, I'm telling you, we're gonna throw out a little personal stuff. And me and Frederico back in the day, man, we were huge Ultimate Warrior fans, man. I mean, besides The Undertaker, I'd say he's probably like one of my favorite wrestlers. You know, Mick Foley, of course, obviously, you know, awesome.
Mankind, Dude Love, Cactus Jack.
Oh, you know it, man. Great.
They're all Mick Foley.
They're all Mick Foley. But hey, that's about going to wrap it up for PoDunk News. But you know what? We got tons of stuff. You guys are in the driver's seat tonight, man. Viewer's choice all the way, and we're going back into the good stuff.
Absolutely, man. So you know what? I think we're going to head out of the news segment, and we're going to give you all a treat, something pretty new, pretty exciting, pretty rocking. I hope you all love it. We're gonna head on over to the video game zone.
Let's do it.
Video Game Zone.
Mario time.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, now we're in Pixel Land over here. I dig it, El Bandito, man. We're ready to talk about some games, man. And like we said, you guys, you're in the driver's seat, man. It's ready to freaking rock, and we're gonna dig in right now, man. Like we said earlier, we're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. You know, I know Party Man Will mentioned something about Ghost Recon. That's that's the latest in that series, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they just did The Division, I think, about a year or so ago, and then they got into doing this Wildlands game, which I haven't tried the Wildlands. I mean, I know quite a bit about The Division, how you get so many amazing and cool beanies for working hard in that game. So thank you guys for that. But the Division also has that really interesting kind of go rogue aspect, which kind of sounded cool, and then they nerfed it, made it kind of crappity, where you could go into a contested area in kind of the center of their world, and while you were in this multiplayer contested area, players could try to steal each other's equipment and perks and stuff like that. And it was supposed to be really cool to see if people would go rogue. And I mean, that's like in the advertisement, like, who's going to go rogue? Oh, will you do this thing? But then when you actually do it, like, dude, you get hammered in game for going rogue. Like, they take like 1,000 experience points from you or something crazy like that. And, each time you do it, you get like 100 experience points. So to take away like 1,000 is like crazy. And then also they got a lot of different weapons and stuff like that are in the game that are cool because they're based on real weapons, so that's nice. But you kind of lose all your perks and some of your abilities and stuff if you go rogue. So it's kind of like you have to work together, which is cool. So ask Party Man Will, did they change that in the Wildlands? Can you be more kind of rogue, or is that more story based? Is it less multiplayer? I don't know.
It looks like here Party Man Will's chiming in and saying that the Division definitely beats out Wildlands as far as the gameplay goes.
Oh, really?
The story and the cover system, I guess, when you hide behind stuff. But he does say that the Wildlands is the superior game. So I think it's probably like that whole thing of being immersed in the jungle and stuff like that. And one game I have to talk about being in the jungle, and it's going to go way back here. It's Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake Eater.
Oh.
Like, that game was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was all in the woods, and it really brought that stealth element, into, like, rather than just hiding under a table or something like that. Like, you're like climbing up in trees and stuff. It was a great game.
Yeah, I've never been a super fan of the Metal Gear Solid games, but I have to admit I played 5, and that one was pretty cool. I only played a little bit of it, like I just checked it out a bit. And Party Man Will, man, he threw me his copy of it. He was like, I've destroyed this game. Here, enjoy. So, of course, I haven't had a chance to play it at all, but I'm hoping to. And I found out something interesting once I actually sat down and kind of played it for a little bit.
What's that?
I didn't realize that after, 15 or 20 years, they had gotten rid of that same voice actor.
Yeah, David Hayter. But tell me who they replaced him with.
They replaced him with Kiefer Sutherland, So you're like, upgrade.
I mean, the old Snake is iconic.
Yeah.
I mean, the way the way he talked and stuff like that. So I definitely missed it, and I think that's kind of what maybe drove me a little bit further away from the game. It's not completely lost, Party Man. I know he wants me to go back and play it and stuff, and I probably will at some point. But I got a lot of wild stuff going on. But man, I'm telling you, we got some other crazy games that are popping up in this feed that I can't wait to talk about. Man, we got Catherine D throwing down some Mega Man.
Nice, that's old school. Bro.
The Blue Bomber, man. He's celebrating his what would it be? Would it be his 30th anniversary? Yeah,
might be 30. Yeah, what was he? 83.
Yeah, 87. Well, yeah, it would have been like an 87-ish. So
87?
yeah, 30. Definitely happy birthday to the Blue Bomber.
I know. Now look, KDD out there is like, what the hell, man? Why are you telling him I'm so old playing these old games?
Hey, I know sometimes, like, I have like dreams that I'm Mega Man and like I'm running around and fighting all the robot masters. And hey, like we were saying earlier, if you want to check out the Amazing Brando, definitely check out his group, The Adventures of Dwayne and Brando. They have a great Mega Man 2 rap. The best Mega Man, in my opinion. I think Mega Man 2 is the best.
Yeah.
Check it out. Good stuff.
Dude, sometimes I have dreams where I'm Mega Man 2, but it's usually like, how when he dies, he turns into all those little white, he like sprays white stuff. Yeah, I have dreams like that.
So you're turning into the white stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, man, people are on here asking about Surge, man. But obviously, I think they want us to be drinking some Surge, man. I think we're pretty excited as it is, man. But
yeah, I know.
We're glad that you're digging that, man. Definitely have a Surge for us. Man, we got Halo on here.
Oh, Halo, man. All right, now see, you're the Halo expert between us because I've only ever played, I think, Halo 3 for like a little bit, and it was right in the middle of like my heavy Call of Duty plan. And I got over on Halo and was like, what is this bright, fancy pants, happy space bullshit? I don't want none of it, And I bailed on that game pretty quick. But you got the Master Chief Collection, which also had all of that remastered editions of the original games. Like, how did that fare?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I might even lose some nerd cred here, but before I got the Master Chief Edition, I had never played a Halo game.
Really?
I mean, I know Party Man Will's a big fan. Frederico, I know you're out there watching. I know he's a huge Halo fan. Man, I mean, I'd never really gotten into it. I love like, old school, like we said, like Wolfenstein, Doom.
Yeah.
And when I finally gave it a chance and played the Master Chief Collection, like you said, with the remaster, I realized what was the appeal, and that's what it is. It's very much akin to like the old Wolfenstein and Doom. You know, you have an armor system. You know, it adds up. You have a health system, and you know those kind of trickle down as you get attacked. Plus, you know, you're fighting these like aliens, and then you got, you know, you can get these vehicles and drive around, or your party member can get into the vehicle and drive, and you're shooting.
Yeah,
so
I know that's kind of the big thing that people always dogged Call of Duty and stuff for not having, was the vehicle stuff. I know even Battlefield had a bunch of vehicles and things, planes and all sorts of shit you can get into. I think the Wildlands game does, because I've seen Party Man Will post up some videos on his Xbox stream of him being in a helicopter and stuff. I don't know if he controls that or if he's just on a ride along or whatever, but
oh man,
in the Halo series, man, the cars and stuff in there. Yeah, that's what they have, a cool name, like Warthogs or something.
Yes, Warthogs are like the big, like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's pretty cute.
the Space Marine, you know, main ship. You know,
Yeah.
like I know Party Man Will can throw down all. He would really be the Halo expert. I mean, he could tell you the whole story. He's even like, you know, worked out some things where I've been like, man, what's going on in this story?
Yeah, he's
right
seen
now?
all the movies and like YouTube stuff. That I've watched Red versus Blue. That's what I've seen, and I don't get any Halo mythos, but that show is the bomb. So.
Oh, you know it, man. You know it. But yeah, definitely we got a lot of love for Halo. Oh man, we got a throwback coming back here from Becca G. She's talking about Descent. Now, if I remember this game correct,
Descent.
you remember
Yeah,
this game?
yeah.
The first person, and like you're like, I think you're flying around, right? Aren't you flying into different spaceships and stuff like that?
Oh, I thought Descent was like an underwater thing. I might be thinking of a movie or something called Descent. I think there's a bad movie with Morgan Freeman that's called Descent.
Oh, that's
and they're
hilarious.
like in a river, or not a river, but there's like a flood.
Oh, you know. Oh, you're right. You're right. Oh, there's the horror movie, yeah, where they go underground and there's like the
Yeah.
monsters. And
Yeah.
stuff. You're right. You're right. I think the Descent that we're referring to though was like, it was almost like a flight simulator, but you're in a
Okay.
spaceship and you got to fly around. And like I remember it was on like, I mean, she's calling it out on the PC, which is awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, it was also on the original PlayStation. I mean, OG PlayStation. You know, with the little sound effect that, you know. Yeah, you heard earlier.
Yeah,
But yeah, absolutely. You know, it was a great game. I mean, for its time. I remember I had a friend who had motion sickness, and like every time he'd watch me play, he'd get sick. So I mean,
Oh,
so
man.
sad for him. But I loved the game. It was a lot of fun. Lot of love for Descent.
Well, that's very cool, man. I'm gonna have to check that one out and try to get more familiar with it, because it sounds familiar, but like I said, I think I'm bringing up this garbage movie I saw.
No, that's okay, man. Like I said, it was one of those ones I think was really in the time. You know, it was like one of the first. I remember there used to be this one game for PlayStation 1 that was Extreme Games. Like it was,
Yeah.
it was. Do you remember it? You were like, you
Yeah.
had like inline skating. You had a
Wasn't there
skateboard?
jet skis?
There
was
was
jet
jet
skis
skis in one too,
Yeah.
and then you could ride a bicycle, and then they had the lunge or luge or whatever. Remember that was the
Oh,
thing that
yeah.
you laid down on and you rode it down.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I always think like I'd like to do that in real life, and then I'm like, but that is so fast. You know, like if you crash, you got to just shatter 15 bones. It seems
Oh,
like,
you know
like
it, man.
terrible, man. But you know what? You brought it up, man, and I'm gonna take a moment. I'm gonna take away the viewer's choice, man. Look at this.
Oh, okay. What do we got
Look at
going
this,
on?
because I've got something really cool that I would like to talk about here. And I'm pretty sure there's a couple people out watching right now who'd like to talk about it as well.
Ooh.
I don't think it was Call of Duty, but we could talk about Call of Duty for a minute. But no, we'll come back to Call of Duty, man, because I really want to talk about this. Let me see if I can find what hotkey did I put this on so I can get to it. Sorry, guys.
Oh
I'm sorry.
man,
It's gonna be worth it. No, not this either.
Okay.
Man, we're just blowing through all sorts of cool stuff. I
Don't
don't know.
worry, it's all good. Yeah, keep going, man. We'll find it. People
We'll
are bearing with us, right? Everybody out there, throw us some love, man. Come on, throw.
There we go. This
Oh,
is what I'm
man.
talking about, man. We want to talk about some flight simulators, man. This is a game I put out. I got it on the Xbox One so I could play with Party Man Will. I feel bad. Justin K hit me up and was like, dude, I've destroyed this on PC. And I'm like, oh, man, I wish we could get some cross-mogination happening there. But, dude, this game is insane. If anyone out there is not familiar with it, it's like it must be made in like England or something, because every voice actor on it is English. I don't know if it's just a space thing, you know? But this is like the most intense space flight simulator like I have ever seen, man. Oh my God, we are getting so many hearts right now.
Oh
this game.
yes.
Oh
Thank you.
my
We-
God,
we
look at
love
that.
that. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
we're gonna throw some love right here for freaking Elite Dangerous, man, because this game here, like we said, it's a space flight simulator, but it's you in an individual ship. and you get to design it and build it, adapt it to whatever you want to do in the universe. And my first impression of it was sitting down being like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing here? And Party Man Will is like, dude, you are carving out your own life in the universe. So yeah, dude, you're absolutely taking your ship and choosing to do whether you want to do trade route missions and ferry cargo or ferry passengers back and forth, or if you want to be a pirate, you can be a pirate and go around and shoot up Federation stuff, or you can be a military industrialist, and join the service and go out there and fight pirates. Or you could just be a random, roguish Han Solo-esque type dude, wonder which one I'm being, and go out there and like smoke pirates and steal stuff sometimes, and you can go down to planets and ride around on like a little moon car,
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
Dude, this game is insane.
It's funny that you mentioned that. I think Party Man Will kind of threw this up in the comments, but this is very reminiscent of Descent. If you think about if they would have made Elite Dangerous 25 years ago, maybe that would have been like in the realm of Descent. Same thing. I think you go into different vehicles and stuff like that. But it was same thing. Like it was about exploring, but it was definitely more of a, like I said, almost like a flight simulator and stuff. But like I said, I think even Elite Dangerous kind of gets tagged into that.
Here you go, man. Becca, grab this game, jump on it, choose either Xbox One or join Justin K over there on PC, man, and get on this game if you were a Descent fan, because the flight simulation of it is so intense and so real. They even have a switch on there that if you want, you can switch it to actual Newtonian physics, and it'll just bounce your ship around all retarded and crazy like it would be in real life, because this is one of the most real to life games I've ever played. And my understanding of it goes that this is a scale model of our universe that is built into the game. All of the stars and celestial bodies within it are populated from star charts from NASA, the National Star Registry, and stuff like that. And anything beyond that that's unknown territory is actually created based on those statistics that they have, so that everything is realistic. And the visuals on this game are stunning, man. I mean, this is the most beautiful hands-down game I've ever seen, where you can warp into a system with a white dwarf star, and you sit there in awe like, oh my God, I've looked into the eyes of God and said, oh. But dude, then your console starts exploding and sparks start shooting out because you're flying into a dwarf star. Move your ship down, But such a cool game. And
the Party Man looks like he said he found a star named Bob.
Named Bob, there you go. One of my favorite things about it, we talk about the naming of it, is that, yes, some of the stars are supposed to be named from the National Star Registry. So if you know someone who has a star, you might be able to find it in-game. But also, when you discover a new celestial body that hasn't been discovered in-game, your gamer tag gets assigned to it as the discoverer of that object. And it's there like forever for everyone who goes there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm racing towards the edge of the known universe trying to get my name on something. I wanted to have a little D3 Chavez out there.
Hey, that's pretty cool though, man. You make your mark in history and it stays there pretty much as long as the game is active. So.
Yeah, and again, the whole in-game system of how their government is run is like there's different factions that control different parts of space, and whenever you choose to do a mission, it's always associated with one of those factions. So whether you're carefully choosing them or just nonchalantly grabbing whatever mission you feel like doing, your success or failure at that mission helps out that faction, and then that faction gains prestige, and players who are really high ranking and really vested in the game will go out and use that prestige to do certain missions that grow the power of that faction. So the players are literally dictating who the government is that controls the universe.
Oh man, well, it sounds really cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna definitely jump on this one. And do you want to? Are we gonna give them in on any secret info that we got coming down, El Bandito?
Oh, give away secret info. Yeah,
really? We're gonna give it down, man. We're gonna let go. Well, just to please all of our Elite Dangerous fans, coming in 2018, we've got the playthrough and review of Elite Dangerous. By me. Well, us, but, I'm going to be playing it, which should be friggin' hilarious because I'm probably just going to fly into the dwarf stars and all that stuff just because I can.
Yeah, what's funny is, we had a long discussion about this, and I was like, dude, there's absolutely no way someone can sit down and play through this game without a crap ton of instruction and time watching the tutorials and all this stuff. But, I think we're going to get Party Man Will in here. I'm going to try to get him out here so that we can go through the game. And then, yes, we want to get Senior Bull in the driver's seat and see what happens when we really do take someone and be like, dude, no tutorials, F that, just do it. Just do it live. And we're going to have them run through the game and see what kind of shenanigans we can get into. So we're very excited about that. Stay tuned here, like and subscribe, and we'll keep you up to date on all the info when that's coming down the pipe.
Oh, man, people are blowing it up down here, man. They want to get back to the viewer's choice. But let me just speak a real quick thing on Wolfenstein 2.
Oh,
I just recently dug it. I know we're talking about releasing, the playthrough and review with Wolfenstein 2 this week. But, man, I got to tell you, I started the new Colossus just the other night, and I played the first 2 chapters. And, man, if you guys are fans of the first game or just fans of FPS in general, dig into this game. It's cool. It's innovative. It's just like the first game in that sense where it throws you into really weird situations where you're just like, man, this is kind of wild. I don't want to give away any spoilers because the last game ended pretty like on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So you're definitely going to have to check it out. But one thing I will say is like I got to the end of the second level and it's where, it says hold the button to exit the level. So I hold the button and my Xbox freezes.
Oh, boo.
So I'm like, what? And then I turn it off. I turn it back on. I try to get back into it, and it can't load my profile.
Oh, man.
And I'm starting to flip out. I'm like, what's going on? I can't play the game. And then I remember that, with the Xbox, you got to do this hard boot sometimes when your stuff gets too filled. So I did the hard boot, and then the game got back in. But then I had to replay that whole level again.
Hey, man, if it's the new Colossus, if it's Wolfenstein, I bet that was, like, awesome to just play.
I kicked ass the second time,
Hell
too.
yeah,
While the first time I might have got my butt handed to me a little bit. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It definitely did kind of make me balance maybe I should have played this on my PC, but hey, still much love. Great game. Get out there and check it out.
Well, dude, definitely I'm so excited to check out the new Colossus because the New Order was so good. I was just blown away by that. And in true Bethesda fashion, they took an FPS game and they added a role-play story element in there where you can dictate how the story goes throughout it. And I'm sure that they have something very similar in Wolfenstein 2, but I know it made me play the first game twice, and I had no problems running through that game twice because it was so much fun and so interesting. And they put so much different stuff in the alternate path that it was totally worthwhile. If you don't know what we're talking about, check out our playthrough and review on that. And be sure, man, 1 is coming for Wolfenstein 2. Man, you know it.
You know it. Like I said, I'm going to keep my lips shut because I know this is a pretty new game. I know people don't want to know. They're blowing it up. No spoilers. No spoilers. No. Which absolutely. But no, definitely a Bethesda game. Awesome time. Oh, Bishop is in the house. I see him in here.
Nice.
Bishop, if you didn't see it earlier, man, happy birthday, man. We know your birthday is coming up this week.
Absolutely, dude. We showed you some love earlier, so go back and replay the beginning of this video, and you can check it out. But we want to get back to the viewer's choice. Is that what we're doing?
Kick it up. All
right. Let's get rid of this Wolfenstein here. We'll get back to you in a little bit. We'll get back to that Call of Duty a little later. Where's the viewer's choice thing? Where the heck is it? Here it is.
Here it comes. Watch this, guys. Watch. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Bam.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There's viewer's choice. It's all about you guys this week.
Absolutely, man.
Hey, you guys having a good time, man? Hit us up with some likes. Put some love down there. Keep throwing the comments. Man, I see that someone's got a real throwback here. We have Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh, my God. Dude, I used to have that on the Sega Master System.
Oh,
right?
man.
And I can tell you a cool story about this, man. So the Sega Master System, it was the precursor to the Genesis. Most people are familiar with the Genesis. The Master System came out along with the NES. Had some really great games, some really cool stuff. I will hands down say that the Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters on Master System, 1,000 times better than the one on Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Just subtle changes, but it worked. But one of the games I got with it and enjoyed the most was Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, man, yeah.
And I loved it because you had a little avatar. You had to walk around and shoot at the bad guy and stuff like that. But then he would like jump on a plane or run off screen and then be like, "Oh, he's joining on a plane." And then you have to interrogate a guy and you got to ask him questions and be like, "What flag was the jet flying,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
painted on it, and the guy will be like, oh, it was 3 colors. It was red and yellow and black. And then you have to go and find in your manual, like, what flag matched that to be able to pick the right country to go there. And they had different little clues like that. But the flag thing is why I'm telling you guys this, because I spilled a drink as a foolish child. I spilled some Kool-Aid or something on my owner's manual. And it was ruined, This was before the time of the internet, so I couldn't jump on there and, Google flags of the world or new instruction manual PDF or nothing. So I actually had to write the people that made the game. And I wrote them a handwritten letter, mailed it off to them, put my little postage on it. And like 2.5 years later, however long the mail takes,
Yeah.
I received a brand new game manual. And I was so stoked. And I opened it up. And man, not to knock whoever was running that game, but dude, they Xeroxed a copy of the owner's manual and sent it to me, I guess to save money or something.
Yeah.
And dude, it was in black and white.
Good luck figuring out these flags.
Yeah. It's brown and red. Okay, so he's on a flag that had 4 colors on it: gray, black, a slightly darker black, and white. Thanks.
The old game show that was on like PBS is getting some love. And do you remember that? Do you remember?
Like just game? Are they mean a game of the game show?
Yeah. There was an old Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. You had the chief.
The TV show?
Yeah. Remember she would always like shoot the basketball?
Yeah.
Apparently she actually made every one of those shots.
That's awesome,
I think she was throwing it up to some guy and he
and
was
he just
dropping.
catches it and puts it in the basket real quick. But yeah, that show was the bomb. That definitely was.
And it's funny because it even says on here that even to this day, the kids of today in like elementary school are still playing the Carmen Sandiego games. So I guess they've reinvented them and stuff. So it's still out there. I'm surprised they haven't made a movie or something like that. Hey, who?
Oh man, don't encourage them to
I
make
know.
a terrible movie of it. They'll just make it crappy. It'll be all sorts of explosions.
Oh, you know it, man. You know it. But all right, man. You guys got any other games you want to talk about, man? Throw them into the comments, man. We're loving this. We got some really cool stuff popping off in there, man. It's just we pulled up some real games. I wasn't expecting to talk about Carmen Sandiego. Jeez,
Absolutely, man. See, now I'm wondering. I think Bishop, like somehow in his, extrasensory perception, realized that I'd put up a graphic of Call of Duty, and he jumped in here. Now we're not talking about Call of Duty, and he's like, "Bro, what's going on, bro?"
I think he's one step ahead of us. He just threw down a comment. He wants to talk about the old Dick Tracy on Nintendo.
That's because he wants me to tell another story about Dick Tracy. Oh man, I hope you guys are into story time tonight. But yeah, I used to have the Dick Tracy game on NES, and again, it's a game based on a movie, so it was kind of retarded, but it had a lot of that similar aspect of like you're a little dude and you're chasing a guy, and then you would get into a car, and it was like just a perfect grid of city streets you'd have to drive through, and then they'd have these other cars that would just drive like through you and would eat up your lives, and you had to dodge them, but it was like nigh impossible. You know how these NES games were. And I remember when I was a kid playing these games with my dad, and my dad would be like, all right, it's my turn to play as Dick Tracy now. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go and I'm going to detect some shits.
Okay.
And then he would get to the little car part, and he's driving along, and we're like, Dad, we've never been this far. This is so awesome. You're kicking butt. And he's like, because you know how hard these games are.
Yeah.
And then he'd be going along, and he's like, all right, I'm going to make it. There's a little exit part. And the dude would just go... and just
run his ass
just
over.
run him down. And my dad, dude, would get so mad that one time we're sitting there, and he's just holding his controller just stunned. And he's just staring at the screen, and you can just see the rage building in his face. And he just grabs the controller and literally twists it apart into pieces. Just the old NES could just, the plastic, circuit board, everything. And just dropped it on the floor and walked out. And we were like, oh.
Thanks, Dick Tracy.
Yeah, thanks, Dick.
What a dick.
Yeah, man. So it's pretty brutal. But I remember we bought a bunch of...
extra controllers.
Yeah, we got extra control. We got the ones with the turbo buttons and stuff. Because my dad was like, feel bad, broke a controller. Here's a bunch of controllers, man. And I have to say, after that, he only threw one at the actual TV, and those CRTs, man, it shattered the controller too.
Oh,
so we're like,
man.
wow, that's
Like,
nowadays I wouldn't recommend throwing. I mean, what do they say? The Wii remotes would break.
Break the TVs.
Yeah, they're breaking TVs. Not back then, man. Your TV was a brick. It just shattered that controller. But
oh man, we got over here. We got The Simpsons. You know what I remember?
The Simpsons.
Do you remember the Simpsons arcade game?
I was just gonna say that.
That was the best. I mean, the ones on Nintendo and stuff.
Hey, the ones on Nintendo were pretty cool, man. I actually really liked Bart versus the World.
Okay.
And what was the original one? It was
Bart's
also
Nightmare or something like that.
Was that what it was? The one where he had to use things to paint stuff a different color.
Yeah,
that was a really clever idea for a game. Like, I hadn't really seen it. Like, you had to use, like, you'd get a rocket and shoot it at something that would make it from red to purple or something like that.
You're right. I remember Grandpa Simpson had like a little thing in there, a cameo, and I remember I read that in the old Nintendo Power. I know you guys know Nintendo Power.
Yeah, that's where you got all your cheat codes. I mean, no one had cheat codes unless you read Nintendo Power, man.
Oh, you know it. Well, but like we said, the arcade Simpsons was great. I mean, it totally took that Ninja Turtles, beat 'em up kind of thing and put it to the Simpsons. Classic.
Yeah, and the way they would double team was spectacular. Yeah. I mean, no other game I ever saw double teamed the way that they did, where like Homer and Marge would grab onto each other's hands and feet, and then they'd roll.
Yes.
Just wreck everything on the screen and
killer.
I think. Was it Bart would bounce off Homer's stomach?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. It was crazy.
I think it's available in the Xbox arcade. I'm not sure about as far as PS4 goes, but I know it was on there a while ago.
Dude, you want to talk about old games? Remember when we saw the original X-Men game on the Xbox arcade?
Oh,
thing?
Yeah.
With Colossus, where every time you'd power him up, he'd be like,
that's the best, man.
Yeah, man. That game freaking hard, but
it was.
Man, you remember we played it that one night? We just beat the hell out of it.
Oh, we did, man. But that's the thing. The old beat 'em ups. I mean, they were button mashers.
Yeah,
It wasn't. I mean, it had some skill, but it was mostly like, the faster you could hit that button and just.
Then we went on and we played the Genesis one, and oh my God, we got destroyed. Who made that? What sadistic bastard?
That one was tough. That was made. I think it was made before the cartoon had really taken off. So it was kind of.
Sure. I think it was around the same time because I remember there was like Shi'ar stuff in there. So it's hard to say whether that was before or after, but it had to be very, very close one way or the other because so many of the characters look just like the way that they did. But I know that was, in the comics at the time.
Definitely. Portal is getting a lot of love.
Portal.
Yeah, definitely. That's the game. It was funny how Portal's life cycle went. You have Half-Life, and then you had like Team Fortress 2 and all that good stuff. And then Portal was kind of just this game that the developers made as like a thing to test out, some different physics in the game. And it became this super popular game.
Yeah. I mean, what a novel idea for the player to be able to create, two portals or a portal. One or two. I don't know how you'd classify
that. Think about
that,
Brink from the X-Men movies.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Or Blink. Yeah, she jumps through the portals and stuff like that.
Yeah, great mechanic, man.
Absolutely.
Very clever
Lots of love. Oh, Bishop's throwing down the golden eye.
Oh, my gosh. I wasn't even thinking about that,
I'll let you take
man.
this one.
But yes, GoldenEye on Nintendo 64. Don't worry about the remakes and all the other stuff they've made, man. Go back to the 64. I've still got mine. Party Man Will, I'm going to give him another shout out. He gave me his Nintendo 64 because I bothered him so much to play GoldenEye every time I'd go to his house. And he was like, bro, just take this home, man, so you stop asking me when you come here to play this game because I'm bored with it.
He's like, this is yours now.
Yeah, and he let me keep it. And I have to say, for 2 years, I had that Nintendo 64, and the only game I had on it was GoldenEye. And I played the teeth off that. To this day, man, I will throw it out there right now. The challenge, anybody, anytime, anywhere, I will destroy you in GoldenEye, man. I may not get 10-0. You might be sneaky and get a couple in there, but I will wreck every time, man. I own that game like nobody's business.
You know it, man. I know it's one of your favorites, man. And
absolutely. So good. It pretty much gave birth to the multiplayer first-person shooting, because that 4-player multiplayer that it had was just unbelievable, man. Super good. I mean, with the inclusion of Odd Job and his little hat that he would throw, and it was an instant kill. I mean, people used to love that and make fun of that, and I'm not going to lie. I played Odd Job and totally, used that boon for what it was for a long time. But, man, I mean, nowadays I play as Baron Samedi with his big white top hat, and he's all white, and I will run around that stage, and I will own you. I will own you. Bring it.
Now, the one I will say, remember Nightfire for like the
Yeah.
PS2 or whatever? That one,
Nightfire was good, dude.
that was kind of a cool 007.
You know what I
game.
really liked about Nightfire was they had rockets that when you shot the rocket, it had a camera on it. And then you became the rocket and could
Yes.
steer it. And man, me and my dad would play that. And he would be like in the castle, like hiding. And I'd fly that junk in the window, like down a staircase and hit him. And he's like, "What the hell, man? Where were you?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm at the ski lodge. Like, I'm nowhere near you." But yeah, that was super good. But the GoldenEye remake they did on like PlayStation 2 and Wii, like just wasn't really very good. I wasn't really impressed with it.
Hey, it's hard to beat the king, right?
Absolutely, man.
We got Justin K talking about Star Trek Online.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna dig into that in our next segment, man. But we got to dig into some PoDunk news. We love that you guys have been digging the viewers' choice. You guys have been so cool. Throw them some love, El Bandito.
Absolutely, man. You guys get some love out there.
But man,
Thank you so much.
But we got some quick PoDunk news to run through. We'll keep it nice and quick, and man, we'll get right back into some more video game talk.
Absolutely.
PoDunk News.
Oh man, and I know you guys are loving on the video games, man. You guys have been great tonight, and man, we got some video game news coming at you guys, man. If you guys are on Xbox, man, here's your Xbox games with gold for December, man. And the first part of the month, man, you're gonna be able to dig into Warhammer End Times.
Wow.
Warhammer, classic tabletop freaking. Oh, there it is. There it is. Al Bandito even has some surprises for me here, man. Yeah, there you go, man. Freaking rocking it out.
Yeah, they're celebrating their 30th anniversary. So they're putting out this End Times thing. Is that 100% free on?
Yes, if you
Games
have
with
an Xbox membership, it's free.
Nice. The gold membership, of course.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Lighter Than Air.
But absolutely, man. Definitely a great tabletop game. I'm sure the game itself is probably awesome. Digging in. I don't know if it's more like strategy or strategic like the
Strategery.
like the actual battle game, but or if it's more of like a first person. But man, hey, it's free. Why not check it out?
Yeah. And the cool thing is with the Xbox Live gold membership, right? And you get your free games with gold. They call it every month. You can like accept the game. Like you have to go in there and confirm that you're like taking it. And then you don't even have to download it. It's just attached to your profile. It's in your library forever. I mean, I download virtually everything. I mean, there's a couple of games on there that I'm like, no, I'm not going to do the Avatar parachute game. I'm never going to play that. But pretty much everything else, I'm like, dude, I don't know. One day I may be old and feeble and be like, I'm going to bust out some Xbox games, do this in my retirement. I don't know.
There you go, man. Well, hey, even if this game isn't one that you check, I'm not saying that you wouldn't, but I think the next game on the list is one that you definitely are going to rock out.
The Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh man, definitely. Well, I mean, the thing about Super Mario, man, is like this is like taking over. This is almost like the days of like Mario 64 back in the swing. But what I really like about this is I know some of our fans out there are about the same age as we are. Do you guys remember Saturday morning sitting down watching the Super Mario cartoon, and man, you got yourself a nice big bowl of Super Mario cereal. Now, if you guys really remember this, you'll know that the Mario cereal box was split in half, and you had a Zelda side and a Super Mario side. They pretty much were practically the same cereal.
Different shapes.
But yeah, but it was still cool for the time. Well, with the popularity of Super Mario Odyssey, it's the Super Mario cereal is coming back. It's going to have like little marshmallows and stuff. Unfortunately, it's not going to be paired up with Zelda, but definitely, get out there. If you're a Mario fan, you got to have the Mario cereal.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, Mario Odyssey cereal sounds cool. Zelda Breath of the Wild cereal. No, that sounds rank, dude. I don't need your breath on my cereal.
Breath of the Wild. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, well, you got some wild stank ass breath cereal. No, thank you.
See, because when you're eating the Mario cereal, you're going on an odyssey.
It is. It's an adventure of flavor. And the other one's just like some old lady's mouth. She's been eating like a lot of English food. But I watched that Great British Bake Off, and some of that stuff they eat, you're just like, oh, it's going to be funk, dude. What are they eating? A piece of bread with like olives and stuff in it?
Well, man, if you guys try the Super Mario cereal, let us know how it is. Maybe we'll get a box and we'll have a bowl right here on right on.
Yeah,
top.
man, we'll do that. We'll get some bootios
There you
too,
go.
for the wrestling fans out
That's
there.
a good idea, man. We'll do a whole thing on cereal that you get nowadays.
I
That's
know.
a great idea. We'll put it on the list.
I'm sure people would love to just watch us eat.
Well,
45.
the eat through and review, right? Oh well,
It was terrible. It was so bad. Why did they make a Breath of the Wild cereal?
well, the next piece of news is that microtransaction and loot boxes, which are AKA pay to win,
Yeah.
are under criticism because they're being included in games that are, being made with tournaments, like where they're coming.
Yeah, man, that's lame.
Yeah, so it's almost like the guy with the most money can just buy
Yeah.
to win. It's like it really
Even in
takes away.
tabletop games, that's the worst. Like, it's why I really don't care for Magic, because 9 times out of 10, a dude with better cards is just gonna win. And you're like, that's not fair, man. I mean, I like me some Dreamblade or something like that, where it's very balanced, where you can take any figures and find a way to win. But yeah, man, paying to win. It's one thing I hated about Call of Duty was, in some of the later editions, Black Ops 2 and stuff like that, Call of Duty, I think Modern Warfare 3, they had, even Ghosts had, where if you bought a certain season pass or something, you would get an exclusive, like, super whip-ass gun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? So there's no other way to get it unless I shell out a bunch of extra cash? Like, come on, man. I mean, it's cool to be like, in the Friday the 13th game, if you sponsored the Kickstarter, they give you a Jason that's like
Yes.
totally kick-ass and way better than any Jason.
The game wouldn't exist without those guys.
Exactly,
Yeah, exactly. It's
you know?
same thing with their DLCs. You pay for like another character or something.
Yeah.
That's different.
So like that I get, but being like, oh, just pay a couple extra bucks now and get a gun where you can run train on everybody else who's like,
So they're
trash.
definitely under fire. It sounds like they're going to try to rethink the strategy. So far, the games are seeing this, like with most criticisms, is GTA 5, which released in 2013 and still going strong
Yeah,
today.
man.
Hey,
That's like
Rockstar-
Skyrim. Wasn't
Yeah.
Skyrim the same way? The Skyrim came out like 2008 or something.
Yeah,
It feels like it,
it's
right?
just insane, man. But it's
Yeah.
great. Great
Hey,
games.
if it's a good game, they got legs. Let them walk.
You know it, man. Well, me and El Bandito.
This one's fun.
You got, you're not just going to get video games. You're not just going to get wrestling. We got to talk about some comics here. But it is a comic video game.
Yeah.
If you guys,
we're trying to keep it all games for you guys tonight. I'm sorry, I didn't
absolutely,
interrupt
man. And it's like, if you guys haven't checked out the trailer, now this is for all our PS4 exclusive guys out there. If you haven't checked out the new trailer for the Spider-Man game, go and check it out. Like, it makes me want to buy a PS4.
you. Yeah, it makes me hate Sony even more than I've ever hated Sony before for making this game exclusive. I hate you so very, very much.
Supposedly they're saying it'll be even better than the Spider-Man the movie 2, the second movie's video game, which was an awesome video game. But so they're saying it's going to be great, but it is under some criticisms too, though. We can't say-
and it's under fire thanks to this.
Oh man, well,
Right here.
being at the movies no, you got it. There you go. That's Peter Parker, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. This is what he looks like in the game, and people are having this like weird kind of beef with the fact that he looks like an amalgamation of all 3 actors that played Spider-Man on screen. Like, he kind of looks like the hair and kind of long face of Andrew Garfield. Yep. He's got this kind of sad puppy thing going like Tobey Maguire, and then he's got the kind of like ear innocent thing from Tom Holland. So you're kind of like, well, that's a little weird.
It definitely is that they tried to bunch all that together.
Yeah.
But hey, how often are you going to play as Peter Parker in the game?
Yeah, seriously. If we're playing a lot as Peter Parker, I'm not going to be super down with this game. I can tell you, you're like, I got to talk to Aunt May or something. I mean, if you're trying to hook up with like Mary Jane or something, that might be cool.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Spider-Man loves his Mary Jane. He certainly looks like he does in this photo, doesn't he?
Oh, he does it, man. Look at it.
Like, he's like, bro.
He's like, every
what?
day.
What? Dude, Venom's attacking? No way.
No way. Whoa. But absolutely, guys. So yeah, that's about it for PoDunk news. Are we going to dig into the events real quick?
Yeah, let's do it. We only got one, right?
Yeah, one quick event, but awesome event. Definitely want to talk about it.
Let's do it. Oh, where'd it go? It was right there.
Oh,
it's not
there.
Warhammer.
It's not Warhammer. It's not Super Mario. It's not.
It's not Peter Parker.
It's not the amalgamation of There it
we go.
is. Awesome, man.
The Toys for Tots out there. They're doing their thing this year. We wanted to give everyone a heads up. December kind of started early. It's like weird the way December
it's like boom.
the first week of December is like the fourth day or whatever weird. What day is today? Today's the fourth, right?
Yes.
I don't even know.
Absolutely, man. But hey, the Toys for Tots drive always helps out a bunch of children and stuff in need, and a lot of local bands will put together various events to, support this. And man, we got to talk about this one coming up at the Oceanside Pub on December 9th. It's going to kick off at 6 p.m. The admission, you don't have to pay anything to get in, but you have to bring a new unwrapped toy.
Yes.
So, that will be donated to Toys for Tots. But, besides going out and, partying down at the Oceanside Pub, getting your drink on and having a great time, there's going to be some musical guests. We got Nation of Decay, awesome metal band, Scott D, keep it real, man. Mikey Cunningham, Outlaw Tendencies, and many more. So they're going to be partying all through the night till like 2 a.m. So it's going to be quite a party. So if you guys are looking for some fun, all it costs you is a unwrapped toy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you can't beat it. I mean, I know a lot of times you go to the store and you're like, holy shit, $19.99 for a Captain America figure? What are they doing? But, they're all articulated and action super guy and stuff like that, man. And these are going for needy kids, it's for the kids, man. Drop $20. You get to see a bunch of cool bands, hang out in a really cool show all night, man. You get to see, what is that, 4 or 5, 6 bands there?
Absolutely.
So you're going to have a good time. It's definitely going to be worth $20, $10, whatever you can spare, man. And if you want to bring a bunch of toys, dude, bring a bunch of toys.
Absolutely.
Because you know what? You can make Christmas awesome for someone who it might have really been tough for, dude. Like, if you got the power to do it, there's no reason you shouldn't, man. We here at the Power Hour of Love, we'd like to encourage all you guys. We'll be out giving, donating, doing what we can for the people, man. And we just hope that you guys can help your hearts grow 3 times bigger this Christmas season. And what's going to do that is spreading some love, man. So get out there and do it. Let them know the Power Hour sent you.
You know it, man. But hey, man, we're going to dig back into some more video games.
Oh, we might as well.
Let's do it.
All right, let me see here. Let's queue up back. You want to go back to the video game studio?
Let's do it.
I
Let's
think
go
so.
back.
That place looked pretty cute.
We're bringing it back.
Video Game Zone.
Oh yeah, Mario time.
All right.
Oh man, this is where I like to be, man. In the pixel world, and we know
like
you
that,
guys,
our little 8-bit studio.
Absolutely, man, dig it. And I've been saying, it's December, it's towards the end of the year, and I had to actually kind of look back this year and be like, let me just look at all these games that I've played throughout the year. We're going to still give you guys a chance, in a few minutes to do some more viewers' choice stuff, but let me just run you down real quick my year in review. I'm going to give you like this 10-second piece on each one of these games on my list, all right? So yeah, we got our video game zone. I mean, definitely got to give that some love, man. Look at that awesome logo, man. That is freaking badass.
Yeah,
man.
we got some Joker to make it.
But yeah, man, we're gonna freaking dive into we're gonna go and we're gonna get into this list of my year in review as it comes to the video games. And here we go, man. We've got, topping off in January, I dived into Resident Evil 7. Now, I mean, this game definitely changed the way that, you play a Resident Evil game, but I thought it changed it for the best, man. I think this is a great new way to do it. Very scary, very cool. The monsters are there. There's definitely, you got some zombie-ish kind of things going on. And it's not done yet. They're about to release that DLC, so jump on it now and rock it out.
Absolutely, man. This was pretty much the game that made us be like, hey, we need to start making a playthrough and review, because I remember we did this live on the audio portion of the Power Hour, and people were like, dude, we want to see what's going on there because that sounds legit. But yeah, we played this game in studio, just in the dark. We rocked it. Senior Bull made me rock out the whole intro to this, man. And it is creep, and it is a great Resident Evil game. It is so good, guys. Get out there, check it out.
All right, man, moving on to February, man. I tried out this game, Gone Home. This one's also now available on all platforms. I don't know if it's on the Switch, but I know on PS4, the Steam. This is a great game because it's more of a narrative story. It's about 2 hours long. So it's not something that you're going to dive in and play hours and hours and hours of, but it's just a really neat story. Like I know these guys that created this game have gone on to do some other very narrative type games that have won awards and stuff, but gone home. If you're just kind of looking for like a neat kind of spooky story, dig into this one. It's pretty cool. It'll bring you back to those high school days.
All right, we'll have to check that one out.
Oh, man, Thimbleweed Park. If you listen to our podcast, I couldn't talk about this enough in March, man. I returned to the point-and-click adventure, man. This was great. You know, you had the guys who created Maniac Mansion, Monkey Island come back together, man. They crowdfunded this. Once again, there's so much stuff that's crowdfunded, you know, and it's it's just great, man. It's in the world of Maniac Mansion, so you might see a cameo in there if you're a fan of that old point-and-click game. So I highly recommend this one. Great point-and-click adventure game.
Oh, moving on.
Oh man, I know
one of my favorites.
Yeah, this might not. I was so in in the mood.
Yeah,
with the point and click.
This was that game that you're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna get this as kind of an April Fool's joke and play the shit out of it.
What was cool about this? I know people are like, Leisure Suit Larry, man. That's going way back. You know. Actually, this is this is a remaster.
Nice.
So it's all done up with some really cool art, and I know they had the original developer in there, and he has some voiced over and stuff. They were supposedly going to remake the whole series because there's like 6 or 7 of these games.
There's a ton.
But unfortunately, I guess the developers and the original creator had a falling out, so there probably won't be a sequel, but you can go back and play the original awesome Leisure Suit Larry and be like the little pimp that is Larry Laughter. So
is that on Steam?
Steam, and I think it is mostly just computer based.
Okay.
I don't think it ever made its way to the consoles.
Oh, this one we played on console, and this one was freaking cute.
Ooh, man, I have to thank Party Man Wolf for this one, because I have to admit, I was a little bit of a hater when I first started playing this game. And he said, Boyle, stick with it. Like, you will get sucked in, and you will want to go and take over every, outpost that has, these bad guys in them. And I was like, dude, no, I don't have time for this. I want to go back and play my point-and-click Leisure Suit Larry game, But no, I played this, and yeah, absolutely, man. What a great game. I mean, I love the Mad Max film series. And this same thing, like we were saying on Friday the 13th, this makes you feel like you're stepping into the world of Mad Max. Yeah,
no, it was really cool. What I really dug about it, because I got to play it a little bit, I'm still looking to play some more of this game, so we might have to do a Vault review on this one.
Yeah.
I love how it's kind of like the Fallout universe, but it's made by the same people or on the same system that they made the Arkham games.
Yes.
So you're like post-apocalyptic Batman, just running around kicking ass, man.
Absolutely.
And I dug it,
man.
But the scrap though, dude, come on.
Oh, you're
so much scrap.
So much scrap. But man, when you're building the magnum opus, man, like it's so
worth it.
I think it was something, but I know Party Man Will's getting a bunch of drops in this one. But man, he sent me a thing and it said, when you play Arkham Knight, you find out how you always thought driving the Batmobile was going to be so badass, and then when you play Arkham Knight, you're just kind of like, man, it didn't live up to what you thought. But when you play Mad Max, building this piece of shit car, like it's like the highlight of the whole game. So it's pretty hilarious, man.
All right, next up, Wolfenstein: The New Order, man. We talked about this a bunch earlier tonight, so we don't need to say too much more about it other than look out later this week. Our playthrough and review is coming out for this amazing, amazing game. Senior Bull rocked right through it, turned around and made me play it for the playthrough and review, and then I have since conquered the crap out of this game, and we're both sitting down to play Wolfenstein 2 now. So check it out. It's got to be cheap at your local store or on Xbox Live, Steam, whatever. Go and grab it, man. You will not regret it. Super great first-person shooter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I see Alex K joined in right at the right time because I know he loves this next game.
Boop. Friday the 13th.
You got it, man.
I thought we were going to say it together.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you have it, man.
It's all good.
As we said earlier, we rocked it. We talked a bunch about this one. Great game. It's won a bunch of awards.
Yeah.
I think IGN gave it best multiplayer. It won like indie title of the year. So yeah, you go on the Facebook page and you'll see a bunch of haters and stuff and people kind of giving it crappy. But I understand that on the consoles it's had a pretty rough start, but give it a chance. Let them update it. These guys are working really hard to really rock this out. So yeah, definitely. I know we've loved it. We've played it for months. So.
Absolutely, dude. Super good. Again, Jeebus. I'm going to come play with you soon. I haven't seen you in forever, girl. I'm sorry.
What's next, man? Ooh, man, another game that got brought up a little earlier. Well, this is one specific. This is Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. The one thing I could say about this game that differs it from the other ones, it's probably the first game where you can actually control where you actually move your guy around.
Oh, cool.
So rather than just you being like, stationary in
Yeah.
an office or something, you can actually move around the factory, and each level kind of changes the gameplay. So you're not just mastering one technique. So I found it to be very innovative. We did just recently find out that the developer, Scott, has said he's going to be moving away from the Five Nights at Freddy franchise. I don't know why. I mean, maybe he's just, grown tired of it and he wants to keep it innovative. Will come back in a couple of years. They're working on a movie and stuff, so I'm sure there's going to be stuff to fill the void. But, yeah, absolutely. Sister Location, another great game in the Five Nights at Freddy series.
Heck yeah, man.
Oh man, we know this blows up all over the place, so we're not going to go crazy on the Stranger Things here. But man, if we're talking retro gaming, check this out, guys. Watch the show first because you probably won't really know what's going on if you
or spoilers.
Yeah, that's true. It does take place between the first season and the second, so it fills that void. But yeah, absolutely, it's great. It's like a Legend of Zelda game, from back in the day. So it has that really like retro feel. You get to switch between characters and stuff. So it has its own take. But yeah, lots of the landmarks from the show end up in the game. So yeah, this really gives you a feel like you're playing out those kids from Stranger Things. So yeah, lots of fun.
Cool, man. I've yet to check out the show, man.
You got to see it. And the game's completely free.
Oh,
so
nice.
That's cool. No microtransactions I've seen so far.
I like free. What about this one here, the Lakeview Cabin Collection?
This was like my love of the Halloween series. I mean, of the Halloween season.
Yeah.
Man, I got.
I was like, oh shit, Michael Myers in this.
It's funny that you mention that. Don't want to give away too many spoilers, but the one thing that Lakeview Cabin does great is it's all done as an 8-bit platformer, very much in the 8-bit style.
Nice.
But as you go into a movie theater and you go into these different movies, and you've got your Friday the 13th, you have your Halloween, you have your Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all the old horror movie tropes, of like the slasher genres, and yeah, you get to play these little games that are, I'd say they're like a sandbox because you figure out different ways to do things as you play them. At first, you're kind of like, what the hell am I doing in here? And then you're like, oh wait, I can get this axe and break this over here and do this and that. And I have to say, it's probably the first game I've ever played that you can actively have sex in the game.
Oh, nice.
So that was kind of like, especially with it being an 8-bit game, you can run around naked. It really is a sandbox horror game. So if you guys want to check it out, definitely go on. I think it's only a couple bucks on Steam. Unfortunately, I don't think it's made its way to any of the consoles yet, but it's not very graphically intense. So I'm sure even if you got an old dumpy computer, you could probably still rock this one out.
Hey, man. Yeah, it sounds worth checking out, man. Go out there, have some virtual sexy times.
Oh, man. For November, Don't Escape. Now, this is what's great about this game, guys, is like, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to, download it. You can play this right on congregate.com.
Nice.
Like, go on there and check it out. We talked about this a few weeks ago. What's awesome about this game is you're a guy who knows he's a werewolf, and he doesn't want to go kill people. It's like set in like medieval times and stuff, and so you have to try to secure yourself inside this hut. So you got to do all these random things. It gets a little monotonous at times because you're like, what I didn't do that one thing. I did that 5 times. Yeah. But yeah, like depending on all the stuff you do at the end, when you say, okay, you're going to go to bed for the night, then like a tally screen comes up and it tells you like, oh, you broke out and killed 2 villagers or 3 villagers or something like that. But so you have to go back into the game and play it again and try to figure out how to make it so you don't kill anybody. So it's like it's a very cool concept. I bet.
So hence the name, Don't Escape. You're trying to keep yourself from escaping.
Exactly. Very unique. I think they could really elaborate on this, and they have made a series of other games. Like one is like a zombie outbreak where you are actually trying to box yourself in, and then there's like an alien one. So great games, completely free, which is awesome. But definitely go on there if you do play them, give them a good rating because that definitely helps them out on Congregate.
Heck yeah, man. Well, you know what I got to say, man? That sounds like a pretty awesome year in gaming all the way around. It's been a pretty awesome night reliving all these games and all these adventures. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Again, you can catch this replay on YouTube if you missed part of it. You can catch it here on Facebook. Our show, our podcast airs live well, not live, it's this. It's going to
Yes,
air
yes.
Thursday night at 10 p.m. on PoDunk Radio. It'll also be available with a bunch of our past episodes on McPatches Podbean. So if you guys ever want to hear more from us, get in touch with us. Let us know what's going on. Check us out in all these wonderful places. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Give us some comments, some love. Let us know what you want to see on the show, and we'll make it happen because, hey, we're here for you.
You know it, man. And, hey, we got to give them a little tip on what we're going to dive into next week. It's a very special episode for us next week, guys.
Absolutely. This is wrapping up our second season of doing the Power Hour. The whole first year was all podcasts only. Most of this year was podcasts only.
Yep.
We just started this live thing that we're going to keep doing all through 2018. But next week is going to be our final episode of the year. We're going to take the last 2 weeks off for vacation. We'll be back right after the new year. But next week is also our 50th episode of the year.
Oh, yeah, man. We did it, man.
Heck yeah. We're celebrating the big 5-0, you know, because our first year, we had to take a couple breaks, a couple holidays. We were trying to figure out our schedules. And this year we were determined to rock out at least 50,
Oh, yeah,
so,
man.
we wanted to be here for you guys. We've enjoyed all the emails, all the likes and comments and everything you guys have done for us so far, all the interaction we've had, all of you joining us on Facebook Live, man. We absolutely love it. We thank you guys so much. Part of why we do this show is because we have such a hard time getting in touch with and spending time with all the people that we know and love out there, and this is one way that we absolutely get to do it. So thank you guys for indulging us. We hope you're having a good time along the ride. Or along further ride, and just like we said, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit us up, powerhourlove@gmail.com. Send us a PM sometime. Let us know what's up and
share
what you
the
want to
video.
see.
Share
Absolutely.
the video. The more and more people we get in here, the more community we make, the more love we can share. And, man, for next week, we're giving you guys, for you guys who've stayed up late with us, we're giving you a little taste, man. Next week, we're getting into some real nostalgia, man, because we're talking about Christmas toys, but not from this year. We're talking about retro toys, man.
Absolutely.
We're going into action figures, all stuff from your childhood. Man, we're talking G.I. Joes, Ninja Turtles, all kinds of stuff. We're going to even have some stuff right here on the show that you guys are going to be able to check out right with us, man. So you're not going to want to miss it. We might even open up some viewer's choice, man, where you guys could tell us about some of the toys you guys got on Christmas back in the day.
Absolutely, man. So, grab some photos of your old toys and stuff, some ancient photos. Take some new photos of toys you still got. So we know we got a couple things lying around that we want to bring on the show and check it out. And, it'll be just a really good time and a lot of fun and a good way to prepare for the holiday season. And, nothing gets you more pumped than being able to spread those toys and that love with other people than looking at the stuff that you got and made you feel so good when you were a kid. And once we do that next week, man, I know you guys are going to be so psyched to run out this holiday season and spread that love, man.
You know it, man. I see them already blowing up the comments, man. Bring those back next week, guys, man. We're going to talk about all that great stuff, man. Thank you guys so much. You guys rock. Anyone who's watching this app, thank you for checking us out, man. Be sure, like you said, hit us up. Let us know what you guys want to see. If you love what we're doing, tell us that. If you think there's something we could fix or maybe try something new, tell us that too, man. We're all in this together. So thank you, guys.
Absolutely. But until then, we'll catch you next week here on the Power Hour of Love.
Yeah.